This is an example of how to engage in a power struggle or power play with a dog in the correct way. You see, when you have a headstrong dog like Milo, who has gotten a certain level of control in the household he lives in and with the people he lives with, you will notice that the mentality is a bit different when it comes to the things that the dog believes it has control over. This is what leads to possessiveness. And possessiveness, a dog can be possessive of a person. People often misread it as, well, my dog's overprotective. No, your dog is possessive over you. Protection is a noble act. Possessiveness is a control issue. So, this is an exercise I often do with many, many dogs, but in particular the ones that believe that they own things. And in Milo's case, he believes he owns his balls and his toys. Now, Milo is not an aggressive dog, so it has not reached the level of him, quote, resource guarding, or him willing to aggress over the object he believes he owns, but he will battle for it. And so, this exercise is important because what I'm essentially doing, in a way that Milo understands, is I'm taking control of the ball back from him, and I'm communicating to him that the ball is now mine. So we have to battle for the ball. Now, the reason this is important is because we always have to acknowledge the social aspects of how a dog operates, because that directly connects to us. Dogs see things in a matter of hierarchy. This is why I do not approach things from a, quote, training perspective. Things need to be approached from a social perspective. So what matters is how the dog perceives us, and how the dog perceives its relationship to the things in its environment in relation to us. Who controls what? Who's in charge of what? What is the hierarchy of things? So you will notice when you are successful with this and you do this in the right way, the dog's perception of the object will change. And I have yet to work with a dog that, once this is successfully done, does not exhibit the same types of behavior towards you. They all do the same thing. It's extremely predictable. So, why don't we go through it and I'll show you what that looks like. So, you'll see here, Milo is attempting to grab the ball out of my hand. Now, you notice that I keep my hand where it's at. I do not pull the ball away. I push Milo away. I remain stationary. If I were to pull the ball away or back away as far as my body, I would show weakness. By pushing him away, I'm setting a boundary here, and I'm communicating to him that, hey, the ball is mine. Now you see Milo now. He lays down. We're not done yet, though. But you'll see through this process that he will start to understand what is happening here. He will continue to battle, though, because, again, he thinks he owns the ball. So he's going to fight for it. I was just making a small adjustment to the camera. Right? Every time he advances for it, I just push him back. Not being mean, just being assertive with him. Calm but firm. And you notice I'm not using any language. People talk too much to their dogs. Dogs don't talk to each other, with the exception of barking. But we're communicating in a very different way here. And you see, I'll use hand gestures to let him know. Right? But now you see he's starting to get it. Doesn't mean we're done yet, but he's done. Now you see the shift in his body language. He sat in a little bit, but he made another advancement. So now we continue to battle, and I just persist. You have to be more persistent than them. You don't get frustrated. You don't get emotional. You don't get mad. You just persist until you win. It's really as simple as that. I'm not being mean to Milo. I'm not abusing Milo. Right? I'm just being very matter of fact with him. And you will see as we continue. Now, Milo's a very headstrong boy. That's why he's going to persist to fight. He's going to keep fighting. And dogs like him, they will typically, when they don't get their way and they know they're losing, they're going to throw everything they've got at you. And I see a lot with puppies. Puppies who are headstrong like Milo, they tend to really escalate and throw everything they got at you before they give up. Now you'll see here, I make a slight mistake here, right? He's starting to get it, but I think I go to adjust the camera, and then I make a mistake here. Yeah, I go to adjust the camera, I set the ball down, and I go to adjust the camera, and he actually goes for the ball. But I'm using a hand signal to tell him no. So I go to block, right? But, you know, I lose a little bit of ground there, which is okay. You see, he's going to start scratching, and you see, he's really fighting for that. But I just reset, right? Got the camera position reset, and we just continue. Right? You see, Milo's got, he's the low level, the panting, the yawning, just low level stress. Nothing wrong with that. See, even the smelling and the licking, oftentimes I've found is almost like a clever way for a dog to attempt to gain control. Now you see, right, the paw, he really doesn't like it. These are all little displays of I'm trying to gain control. He knows he's losing though. But see, this is where you see he's settled in a little bit, and so that's my cue to that's him telling me, okay, I'm starting to respect this boundary. You have to set the object on the ground though. This is very important. It means something different to the dog. So now we're going to battle now that the object's on the ground. I will do this as long as I have to. Literally, I will do this as long as I have to. This is something instinctually a dog understands. This is all communication. I don't have to say, and notice I've not said one word in this whole clip, in either one of these clips. Hand gestures, yes. But now you see he's starting to get out. You see his attention shifted from the ball to me. That is my cue from him that he gets it. So from here I'm going to stand up. I'm going to let him know, wait, right? I'm going to stand up. Now, this isn't perfect because I would prefer his attention to be completely on. Now you see his body, you see he's settling in. Now he looks at me. That's very good. Now I'll roar him at the ball. Just like that. Now, it would have been a little bit better for me to have waited until his attention was completely on me, but since we battled for so long and he showed no intention to make any more forward advancements or advancements towards the ball, I will give him the ball at that point because he is showing that he's respecting what I'm saying to him. And that's all that needs to be done. Now, you might have to repeat that a couple of times, but every time you do it, it becomes easier and easier, and the battles are quicker and quicker until it gets to the point where the dog now fully understands that he does not own that object. And the message is sent.